What's going on? How y'all doing out there? What's happening? What's happening? I'm alive and live and live. Let's see who comes through. I just got through seeing they were talking about the NFL. They was talking about how Shanahan is catching the flames, rightfully so. My videos didn't go all the way up yet. There's some kind of delay going on, so I will do what's up. Let's talk. Let's chop it up. I will talk freestyle. I'm gonna do tomorrow. I guess when I do my next regular videos, I will uh put them up, the regular ones. So they're still queuing right now. But anyway, um, yeah, Kyle Shanahan, people coming at him. I heard some interesting takes. I heard Rob Parker trying to say Kansas City ain't a dynasty. I'm like, come on, man. This is a dynasty. They won 3 rings in 5 years. And it's rare, okay? It's not like this happens every day. Every era has that one dominant team. So you have to give it up. But yeah, Kyle Shanahan, I mean, he didn't blown 2 Super Bowls. You could make the case he choked out against the Rams. I won't hold last year against him because they just lost his quarterbacks, but still, I mean, how many chances is this guy gonna get? So um, so it's pretty bad with that. Yeah, there's still people still talking about it. If you're a 49ers fan, I don't know what to tell you. They lost 3 straight Super Bowls and they all been close. But these last 2, you just choked. Yeah, because to do that is unprecedented. And to be real with you, considering the quarterbacks you've had that are quarterback and they never did it, and Mahomes does that, yeah, you'd have to call him the GOAT. Bet your bottom dollar that if Brady sees him going for it, he might come out of retirement. You ain't got to worry about Giselle being at home no more. I'm just going to keep it 100 because that would be uncharted territory for a quarterback. I mean, it's that's amazing. So yeah, I would say that. I'd say either he either have to win 3 in a row or win 5. But either way, that would put him over. For me. For me. Because I just look at it like it's so unheard of. And we've never had that happen. We've had dynasty teams. We can go with the Steelers. They didn't do it. Cowboys didn't do it back in the 70s, didn't do it in the 90s. Uh, the Bills went to 4 straight. They didn't win, but that would. But I mean, think about it. It's tough. It's tough. Football is a different sport, different animal, different magnitude. So he might, but all he need to me is tied with Grump. To me, I'll make the case for him because tight ends, what he's been able to do is incredible. So when you start piling up the postseason numbers, and if he passes Jerry Rice, then what? And then he wins another ring, then what? And what else is there left? So I can make the case. I mean, you can make cases right now for Kelsey and Mahomes because they are only going to get their situation will only get better if they win another one. For Andy Reid, oh, he's tied with him for me. I got them tied right now. I might be the only person that say that they're tied. None because all he gonna be doing is adding statistics. So he wins another ring. I mean, for people who like to use rings as the measuring stick, but for me, his impact, his depth, his magnitude speaks for itself. So to me, his body of work is right there with Gronk for me. And if he stay healthy and focused and he wants to come back and get another ring, well, you know. So it all depends what you do. Thank you. That's what I was told. I got some messages from there. Thank you. Well, I've definitely been hearing a lot of feedback. And I think that with the live thing, because we talk about a lot of different topics and we go into different circles and stuff, that it allows it to have more, you know, uh, different things. Because it's like I said, when I do regular videos, it's almost like doing a song on the radio. And if you remember like a 3 minute, 4 minute song on radio, you gotta you gotta get to the verses and the choruses and maybe a solo and the bridge, and you be done. Tell your story beginning, middle, end. We do this, it can veer into different avenues, you know. I was still laughing after I got off last night about Usher with the corny Michael Jackson glove. That line had me in stitches. I mean, I laugh. I still stay because because um I heard I heard something like that. So my question is this: let's talk about him for one moment before we go on to other topics. Is he a Hall of Famer musically right now? He's 30 years into his career, big songs, album. Okay. Okay. See, I tell you, I like man, I want to know what did Usher do to you that you don't? I mean, I want to know why you don't be feeling Usher. Oh, really? Okay. Well, tell me. Explain. 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 Well, so wow. His first album, Puffy was in the video. He was on the matter of fact, he was rocking an old Lakers jersey. He was sitting on the car and Puffy was driving. Right back out in 93. Back when Who's the Mac came out. See, I go back when Usher first came out. I remember when he was dressing like Michael Jackson, Smooth Criminal, on a Star Search. Okay, tell me why Usher's a bum. Because I don't think he's great, but I think he's good. But I don't. I think there's something missing. But tell me why you think he's a bum. Did he propose to Pope? That was hilarious. That's funny. Which you never know, but that is that industry. But that would be news. But is it? Yeah, I seen her. I seen her. I saw the you know I saw her with some shades on, and he's up there rocking the Don the Magic Wand fur coat. I was cracking up. I said, he's so corny though. I said, come on now, rocking a fur coat, cracking up in Vegas too, because Vegas is hot. It's warm in Vegas. Let's Turkey up there rocking a white mink. I was cracking up. Some people still talking about him and Alicia Keys' performance, but I didn't get all this tension. He takes 100 from Drake to do a strip dance. I shall respond. I think Bruno got him beat because Bruno's a better songwriter. Bruno's a strong showman. I think Bruno got him beat. I moved more. I'll put it to you like this: if they both come up with an album, I'm more likely to buy Bruno records. I did like some of the Silk Sonic record, and I'm more closer to buying Bruno. I really am. Usher is a strong showman, got charisma, persona, but something is missing. He can sing, he can dance, but something is missing. I like the roller skate. Like he gets a lot right, but then there's something I don't know if it's the songs. I don't know why. It's just something that don't finish it off for me, and it should because if he had what I call the finished product, he may have had a top tier performance for me, but something was missing, and I don't know. Anyway, I thought I would since Usher will be coming up. Once we get past this week, I think once we get past this week, we'll kind of forget him once we get past the Super Bowl talk. But I just thought I'd kind of get some feedback on some Usher thoughts real quick. But if you're the 49ers, do you keep Brock Purdy? He did. And he making money off that white boy too, because he had a hand in bringing them over from Canada. But who's your family artist? Who's your who's your family artist just now? I don't understand. You asking who was my favorite family? That's kind of hard to say because my family is all over places, and when I was a kid, it was easy to answer that. Um, Back in the day, there was obvious respect for Michael Jackson. They might now that's a good call there, Ted. You might be onto something with that. But I know he's trade bait. I just don't know where he gonna go. Michael, Stevie Wonder, Lionel Richie, Smokey Robinson, Prince was popular in my family, Aretha Franklin, Bill Withers, um, Rick James. I can go on. I mean, it's, Steve Wonder, Marvin Gaye, Al Green, yeah, Aretha Franklin, you know, yeah. Back in the day, because I mean, again, that was, and it's a wide range, Sinatra was big, Tony Bennett was big, you know, Count Basie was big. Yeah, well, we listen to all kinds of music. I wasn't limited, especially on my mother's side. There was a lot of country artists to listen to because Ray Charles was big. I mean, Jackie Wilson, listened to a whole lot. Music was like, yeah, music. Like my first introduction to jazz was Duke Ellington, and we gonna be going to Brooklyn, take the A train, and that was like a big thing. I never forgot that as a kid. So pretty much, it's been like you know hodgepodge of artists. Now hip hop come along and got bigger. I can't tell you that because Uh, one of my grandmothers had passed. My grandfather had passed on. My other grandmother, we never really got into talking about hip hop like because it wasn't really as big like that at that time. So that would be that's something that you know. But I'm just talking about like we talking about R&B, pop, country, gospel, blues, jazz, classical. I had some of that Tchaikovsky and Beethoven, Bach, mm, Chopin, and Mozart, and Scott Joplin, because ragtime and yeah, but hip hop wasn't until like later in another life, but in another capacity. So good question though, because it's always curious about in households what people listen to and what they like and so good question. But yeah, Justin Fields is gonna definitely be an interesting one. Hmm. Yeah. All right, now let's get warmed up. Oh, y'all got more than that. And you told me last night about Renee and Angela. I like them too. He does. He just has to like neutralize, centralize his skill set so he don't get caught. Because when he gets into a groove passing, he's very accurate. It's just that sometimes he gets bad turnovers. But I think he was in a no-win situation with Chicago. He's the most talented quarterback they have ever had, and you know this as a Packer fan. That's not up for discussion. You already know. I ain't never had no quarterback like no Fields. That's probably why they can't do nothing because they're not used to having someone who actually just got skills on the offensive side. But if you're Bill Belichick, you come to Frisco and you bring Fields with you, and then you get your revenge. Ah, because with that defense and that run attack, just saying. Well, he is. That's not a. You don't have to be Sherlock Holmes to figure that one out. I mean, he is. I mean, he underachieves. I mean, they stack. They stacked on their defense to an extent. I mean, think about it. Even if they suck, they still won 11, 12 games. Yeah, I saw mom said that, but I mean, they still won 11, 12 games, and that's just being, you know, and he just don't finish. He set himself up for that, but see, the problem is that Yeah, he a double double, but no one cared. He played for Dallas. They don't care because Mike McCarthy's gonna catch more heat than him. Meathead is in trouble. Jerry Jones already told him I ain't giving you no extension. So if Meathead choke again in the first round, he done. Which I hope he does because I think they need a better coach. But then again, I hope they don't because I like him choking. So take your pick. But you know, somebody be coming out Dak is whack. But like I told Ted the other night, I still don't know how this turkey got second in the MVP voting. Someone need to explain that one to me. I still am a lost it for that one. You know, I thought that was a typo. But they do love them some Dak though. They love them some Dak. So he got a strong base. Yeah, Tua was better, and so was Tyreek. So was McCaff. I came up with 4 guys ahead of him, but you know, I don't have Jerry Jones money, so I can't sway you. That's all I can say. I can't sway you. But that was hilarious. You would be too. Shoot. Choking us out of the Super Bowl, losing by 10 again. And just being boneheaded. The shenanigans is true. I don't know how much more time the turkey gonna get. You've been to 4 NFC championships. You blew 2 Super Bowls. You blew a potential NFC championship game. And you got talent. And you're the best team in the NFC, bar none. So I don't know. As great as Mahomes is and Andy Reid and Kelsey, what they did, you just choked that game. That's basically, and that stupidity, not knowing the overtime rules. Like, we know, I know, we know. How you not know? How you not know? And you don't go for the 4th down and you get beat. And one thing I noticed about, uh, probably is, probably is. He wanna light him up on the grill too. One thing I know about, NFL, and I tell you like this, sometime you don't come back from this. You think I'm lying, look at Russell Wilson, look what happened to Seattle. Time you don't come back from this. Sometime you are done. Because, you know, um, you gotta remember something. You're talking about blown opportunities at the big. Where's Atlanta been since that last Super Bowl that they choked? What happened? What happened? That's all you need to remember. And the Mighty Quinn got another job, and Matty Ice got shipped out, and he sucked up. I mean, thank you. And you blow 2 of them in the last 5 years, 2 different ways, 2 10-point leads. Blew an NFC championship game, just not finishing up. Well, I tell you, George Seifert, Bill Walsh, Joe Montana, Steve Young, Jerry Rice, all looking sideways. This ain't how it used to be in Frisco land. Nah, my, how the mighty have fallen. They, excuse me, they used to finish up Super Bowls, not choke them. They need to get Joe Montana out the old folks' home and say, come on back down. Tell him to stop playing shuffleboard you know, because Mahomes about to tie him. He better hurry him get on out. Bad luck. That thing should be cheek crispy. Cheeks should both be crispy. He should walk down the street in Frisco and he has to have like ice packs on tied to his behind because to choke 2 Super Bowls like that. Well, they favorite next year in Vegas. I mean, it don't mean nothing. Well, John Lynch is happy to have the job. I don't know if they're gonna really put the fire to him, but he should be. He should be. Cause you can't keep having situations like that and you keep coming up and you don't finish up. And you didn't change your quarterbacks, and now you going from one manager, game manager to another, from Jimmy G to Purdy. I don't know. I'm glad that's not my team. That's all I got to say. I wouldn't want to be a 49ers fan because you so close to the cusp, but yet you so far away. He might get let go anyway. I don't know. I bet you is happy because y'all should have beat them. And Detroit show should have beat them. Now you can talk trash to Lions fans not only when you kick they behind next year, but just the way that they choked that game. How the heck did they lose to Frisco? Ow. And Dan Campbell, I'm like, yeah, y'all fool around, y'all be a 1 year wonder. Cause I'm gonna tell you, the NFL is cold like that. Times you come up short, and you blew a game you had. And one thing I know about the NFL, Dan Campbell suit. Extra chunky, extra lumpy. One thing I know about the NFL, sometimes these teams get haunted, like they get cursed, like they can't come back. So you could be a 1 year wonder. That could be it. Extra bumming. Yeah, well, I'm not gonna call him a bum because he did a great job there. I'm not gonna call him a bum. I'm just gonna say he's a solid, a good coach, and they choked. But I'm not gonna call him a bum. I'm not gonna disrespect him. He did good. He's done good there. But you got to be smart. Got to be smart. And that was some, like I said, that's some brutal football. Mhm. To finish like that when you should have had that thing. So, but yeah, his seat should be extra hot. He should, but where? Where is he going? Where would he go? I mean, he got the Colts to a Super Bowl and he did good in Detroit, but where would he go? I need to think of a place that realistically he could go and be successful. Tell me where. Trying to think, where would he go? Excuse me. You need. If I'm Andy, I think Andy gonna try to come back. I think Andy got 2 more years in him. I think he's gonna try to run it back, and then he'll try to see if he can. If he wins, have another year where he wins 12, 11 games, he'll probably go on and try to break the record and try to get another chip. He may as well. 2 more seconds for what? Yeah, I don't know. 2 more seconds. Um, I don't know why. It's tiers to this. We talk about this all the time. He's not on Mahomes' tier level. He was a good quarterback who had a dominant run for a moment in his own way, but he is not Mahomes, and it's not the same era. And I'm gonna tell you something. McNabb had T.O., okay? Tyreek Hill versus T.O. T.O. is better. But the thing is that McNabb did work with, scrubby receivers. Yeah, but he did. But he doesn't have the IQ, football IQ that McNabb has. He doesn't traject like that. So he would look like an idiot trying to hate on somebody that just was better. Heck no. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. When you want to be great, you want greatness with you. McNabb, I told you he was cocky for a moment. And then he ended up getting old and feeling. And they used it against him. So now, two different types of quarterbacks. They will. They just kind of like waiting to see how things kind of float. They want to see what happens with Diggs. They want to see what they're going to do. They'll make a move. He he steps up, but the problem is it's like he's getting mixed reaction. He's getting mixed signals. So it's not I'm not and it's not all on him, but a lot of it is on him. But what I say to him basically is just don't put yourself in a predicament where your season is over. I said that too. Remember what I just got through telling you about how Kyle Shanahan, if you notice his pattern, I'm gonna tell you about some of these coaches that find multiple ways to lose. That's what Sean does. That's not healthy. Yeah, man. Okay. So we got they were talking about that yesterday. They was talking about Brock Purdy. They said if you put Mahomes on the 49ers, Allen on the 49ers, uh, it depends on who the coach is. And depends on, if the routine talent wise, yeah, but you know, I think the 49ers new dude. He is a good rebound coach, and he would help out a lot of teams that are like that. So there's a lot of rebound coaches, rebuild, but you don't end up just being a rebuild coach. You're actually there to be the coach. So, you know, Yeah. Lovey Smith too black. The beard, I didn't really think that Lovey was too vocal. You know, I like Lovey, but I don't know. I didn't, he's respectful, but I never got this thing. So I don't know about that one. You got me on that one. Because I never heard them. Lovey's a brother, but I never heard that he was, you know. Oh, with the bowler, I saw that, man. I saw that. And you trying to get my attention. Yeah, I saw that. I seen him, and I thought, okay, whatever, JD. But hey, he needed the spotlight, so you know, I really ain't paid JD a minute, mine. So, but I saw it. Well, Larry Bird. Um, you throw LeBron, Dr. J, defensive purpose, Scotty. Um, she could make the case for Durant in there too. Um, all right. Dominic gets love. Bird's my number one though. And I know it might be controversial, but I gotta put Bird number one. Cause it's not controversial to me. He did everything. He was everything that LeBron just got athleticism over him. He's played longevity, but having witnessed Larry Bird up close and his attitude and approach to the game, it's not even a discussion for me. So yeah. You can't go wrong with everyone. You want to say what you want, but um I have to say Bird. Ours. Dwayne Wade. Cause D Wade with them blocks. Jordan, Gary Payton, Rondo, Tony Allen. um, eh, I like Mookie, but I don't know if I had thought of Mookie like that, but I do like Mookie though. Joe Dumars, as I mentioned. So Stockton was had a lot of steals too. So take it for what you want. Pass the big man, Wes Unseld, Kareem, Sabonis, Wilt, Shaq, Joker, Duncan. I like Kevin Love. I like Kevin Love. Yeah. Weber was bad with Sacramento. He was. But then again, Vlade Divas was too. So that they were the best passing bigs for that particular time. So again, I could say the same thing for Vlade. Yeah, KG did. Even though Weber was a better passer though than me. Begrudgingly Barkley did. I had to see more. Colin Barkley. So Barkley could pass. All right, there's some good topics here. Let's do some speed ones. Okay. Mm, Aaron Rodgers. Because I mean multiple league MVPs. Warner did go to more Super Bowl. But Aaron Rodgers, I mean, before Mahomes came along and had the cape on, I mean, much as I can't stand him, his skill set is still otherworldly. So I like Kurt Warner. Story more, yeah. No, 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 no. Sorry, Andrew. No, 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 no. Sorry. 3-1 in rings, 4 Super Bowl appearances to 1. Back 2 league MVPs. Come on now. It's not even close. Mahomes done left Rodgers in the dust. And I felt this way before Sunday's game. No. Big Ben, blowout. Because the only thing with Steve Young, he had Rice and but he wasn't a better passer. Big Ben came into the league. Big Ben didn't have to go to New USFL or any league to get his. So it's a no-brainer. And Ben and Mahomes got that one, but yeah, Big Ben got it. He also had concussions and he also took too many necessary hits. That year when they won the Super Bowl, and Ted can verify this, that's that one game against Washington, I remember, and he almost got concussed. He was taking a little bit too many hits because the way he would slide or how he would play. I'm not disputing that. But so did Mahomes' receivers ain't exactly, you're not exactly gonna get them mixed up with household names. They're not that memorable. Thank you, Ted. Thank you. Appreciate that. I mean, we start talking about this, you got to look at the whole landscape. Because this was supposed to be, everybody keep telling me in the media, this was Kansas City's down year. This is their weakest of the run. And the man still goes on the road, still wins 4 games, still gets Super Bowl MVP, still comes up big. I mean, meanwhile, Aaron Rodgers has had a more easier path in the NFC if you think about it. So I'm just thinking, you know, everything been settled for Aaron Rodgers. So it was supposed to be. So that's all I got to say with that, you know. So that's how I look at it, you know. But what Mahomes has done is just he shut him down. He shut it up. Oh, roots, roots. I think that the first one was so hard that it just shook me, you know. Nothing like it. Nothing like the rawness of Kunta Kinte. Nothing like it. I did like Queen a lot, but Roots was strong. You know, it's just like you could just feel it and it just hit. So, but I love it all though. I recommend watching it. Yeah, I do too. Um, just like if I watch Spike Lee's Four Little Girls about the bombing church in '63, and yeah, there's certain things that definitely get to your attention. Yeah, yeah, it's pretty heavy, heavy stuff. To me, it's something about that long streak, so I got to give it to Nia. Had you asked me about before she started doing strippers and stripping numbers, I would have told you Hadley, but I got to give it to Nia. But for the record, don't touch neither one of them. Thotty, maybe. Not no Eva Longoria. Eva Longoria is gonna be like pasted mayo. She was bad 20 years ago, but not now. Not now. And not in the Latina female world, no, because Selma Hayek got her blowed up. Selma Hayek would blow that away. No. Selma Hayek, I'll give you. Selma, I'll give you. But Eva, I mean, she has some hard moments, but Eva doesn't move me like Selma did. So, yeah, more Selma. Like I dug Eva for a moment, but Selma got it going on. Of those two. Lynn Whitfield. Now, Rosie had appeal, and I liked her, but Whitfield's, you don't even realize it's kind of like the Angela Bassett thing. Like, you don't realize, how stunning, how much, until she's got it going on. Rosie got appeal, but Somewhere along the line, I kind of, I don't know, can't put over Lindenberg. Yeah, don't persuade a song. Yeah, so, mm, okay. Let's see. Okay, can you hear me? Is that better? Um, I'm gonna say Alicia, but um, B- Beyonce had a chance with it. She got the prettier face. She's got the face, you know, her windows, but AK got the AK, but yeah. So that's the one. Now you ask me who's had the better musical career, I'm gonna tell you it's Beyonce and a blowout. Like if you ask me out of Halle Berry and Neil Long who's had the better career, I'm gonna tell you it's Halle Berry. So it all depends on what question, how we answer this. So you ask me who had a better movie career out of Where Was He Perez Lynn Whitfield? I'm taking Rosie. Got more iconic roles. It's different when we picking a based on their visual and then we're talking about their skill set. So it's interesting. This is gonna run counter. I hope that better. And what's going on, Leona? How you doing? No, I think we had this discussion about that. She just typecast once you started working with Tarantino, and she had a certain type of role. See, I can't. You asked me about actresses being bums, right? A lot of them get typecast. So, for instance, right, if you're like Samuel Jackson, you're always playing the of slick, stylish, like kind of hero, kind of tough guy, tough. But it gets typecast. I had to have like versatile actors that can answer it too. Because character actors, they get typecast and they're gonna look like a bum because they play the same character. Okay, Tommy Lee Jones is good and solid. There was never gonna be a leading man thing for him, and that's another thing too. Let's talk about this too. When you ask me about male actors, they have to have a certain appeal to be a leading man. So you got to have people that you can say, yeah, he could be a leading man. He covers this. Now Russell Crowe is kind of like a broke Mel Gibson. So it's a little bit different when we're talking about because uh, you know, a leading man has to have a universal appeal. He has to be able to like carry himself a certain way. Whereas character actors, they can play the same role and it even makes the movie. It's just how it is. It's different. It's like oh God, who can I pick on? Let me think of somebody. I like Cummins a lot, but Chris Webber was a better player. He had a better swing. I like Cummins, but Weber had a better upswing. And Cummins didn't get the shine as much as Weber. You know. If you ask most people who's more closer to being one of the 75 greatest, they're gonna say T.C. Webb. Whoever had the passing, you know. So, but that's a good question. Those two, good question. Definitely a good question. No one ever mentions Terry Cummins since I can't tell you when. James Worthy for me. Now listen, Paul Pierce is a better leader, but if you ask me who was the better player, I'm gonna tell you Worthy. He was MVP of finals. Guy had a triple double one in the finals, and he came up big. I mean, you know, he was athletic. Pierce a better leader though, because I put Pierce and he could lead the way, but he wasn't the. I know he's got more points, but Worthy moved me more. So that contrast of a question has got more to do with style versus standard. One guy, Rick Smits, Duckworth didn't come up big at all for Portland. He was a big body and all that, but he wasn't the center they needed. I think if they'd have had Sabonis back then, they win a ring or two with Drexler, um, Curse, and Porter. I believe so. Wrong center cost them. Flying Dutchman was good for what he did in his era, and he would be effective right now. As fact that the Pacers could get him right now. You love throwing Chris Robinson and everybody. But I did like me some Mashburn. Oh, this one is kind of tough because they kind of fall in the same wavelength for me. Um, I gotta say, hmm, I like Mashburn a lot, but I think I'm gonna actually go with Cliff because Cliff did a little bit more. I think he got a little bit more out of him. Mashburn had some moments, but I think I gotta give Cliff Robinson an edge on that one. I didn't think I would, but upon further review in my mind, I got to say, uh, but that's funny. The only person I ever know mentioned Paul Pierce against James Worthy. That's such an interesting contrast too. Not only the Boston LA thing, but Detlef Shrimp or Sean Marion? Is that the one? Is that the one you asking me? I'm going with Sean Marion. I like Detlef. Detlef was more of a between a bench guy, scored so much, did his part. Of course, I go back to when he was in Indiana, and I know when he was with Seattle. But Sean Marion was an interesting figure and a cog for Phoenix in his prime. So I think you got more out of Marion as a starter. Detlef was versed off the bench, but yeah. That's a good question because no one ever asked me about those two. In fact, they don't never come from well, me and Ted did do something about Sean Marion, the Matrix with that old Wyman shot he be shooting like he's a discus. Steve Nash or Dame who? Which Dame? Oh, Dame Lillard. Ah, you think this a good one, huh? You think this a good one, and I gotta go with Nash. And I'm not even the biggest Nash fan, but I'm gonna tell you why. He led a team. He really led a team. He moved the rock. If he played like Dame did, he don't win well, he might win MVP, but he'll score about 15 more points. But that's not what he did. He dribbled, he got people involved, 50, 40, 90 club, you know. And field goal percentage from the field, 3-point shooting, free throw shoot. I mean, he covered bases. And you had to operate like that. Dame has never done that. Never. So I gotta take Nash over that. The ironic thing is I'm not even the biggest I'm not even the biggest Nash fan because I think Shaq got robbed and all that. Stockton, fundamentals better, timing better, delivery better. He did get his team to 2 finals. He was a part of getting that. CP3 done had how many chances? CP3 kinda got that Kyle Shanahan bit of the Doc Rivers, well, he did get coached by Doc, but he don't finish. Now athletically, he's better, but the fundamentals, I'm taking stock. David Robinson was better. Kidding me? Dave Robinson was a better defensive player. He scored more points. He's underappreciated. I know some people got the soft Dave tag. I know. I had a buddy of mine we talk about it all the time. But and I did call him soft, but as a yes, 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 yes. Did you see the old 3 finals against the Nets? He was down there block partying. Yes. And when Ewan wasn't there against the Knicks, he was instrumental on defense. His defensive skill set only against because he got stood up by Olajuwon, but remember, he was a league MVP, and he did have a fragility about him. I ain't gonna lie, but no, no. Dave scored crazy points. Dave won scoring titles. Yeah, from if Ewan could score like David, we be putting Patrick Ewing in the top 6, okay? Dave Robinson is in the 7, 8 slot, and Ewing's behind him. No, Dave Robinson was bad, could score. He could score. Put David Robinson today with Victor Wamby in San Antonio and don't tell me how scared he would be, especially in this where you a center and you can float and glide. Are you kidding me? As a matter of fact, I'll go on record and say this about David Robinson. They did that on purpose to get Duncan. You know what that was about. He he would have been very instrumental if Dwight Howard had to come to him and say, "Hey, give me a step. Show me what to do with quickness on that first step." So I've made Dave jokes too, but his athleticism, he was, you know, he was kind of ahead of his curve. I give her credit to Barkley. Come on now, that is that a joke? I mean, I'm not laughing. You know what I mean? That's not even up for discussion. Now, AD got better natural skills, but he ain't got Barkley's heart. If you combine the two, you might have the top 3 player ever. Because if AD thought like Barkley did, and Barkley had AD's skill set. AD had Barkley's, but they both kind of loafed though. So I gotta pause on that because Barkley didn't always push himself like that. And AD, he's halftime in street clothes. But you know what I mean when I said if Barkley had AD's skill set and AD had Barkley's drive, you'd have a top 3 player ever. You could build around that. But Barkley for me. This is my Miami Heat loyalty. I'm gonna take Bosh because he was a 20 and 10 man in Toronto before he even came with LeBron, who I say he's the best teammate LeBron James ever had. And he fit in really well with Miami. Clutch plays, clutch moves. He gave himself, he deferred, he was able to switch and everything. Weapon could score and do things, but I never felt his presence when they were making their real run. I never felt he had that kind of feel. I gotta give Bosh the edge there. Very underrated. People forget that he blocked that Tony Parker shot in game 6, made that key rebound pass to Ray Allen. Come on now. And deferred one in different ways from Miami. Came outside shooter against Roy Hibbert, would post when he had to, put away his 20 and 10 cape when he came to play with LeBron. People forget. I tell all the time about Bosh. I ain't forgotten nothing. You ask, I'll tell. You don't ask, I won't tell. But yeah, a lot of them did. I heard a lot of them downplay him with LeBron and D Wade, but he was instrumental there. He wasn't just some side to the sidekick. He was very instrumental. He deferred. he showed to make a big three work, you really had to have a player that's willing to sacrifice. It's kind of like when Durant went to Golden State and Clay took the third chair. Sometimes he might take the second, but everything was, oh yeah, Haslam was a big help. They got physical. They worked out. They did complementary things. So, so hold on, right back. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move. Quick pit stop. What's up? See what we got. Grant Hill or KD? You talking about Grant Hill versus Kevin Durant? Hold it, hold it. You talking about Grant Hill versus Kevin Durant? Let me make sure I'm not seeing this right, because that's the only KD. If it's Grant Hill versus KD, I'm taking KD. And if it's Dumas versus Clay, I'm taking Clay. If you said Grant Hill versus Durant, that's Durant, man. Durant's a better pure scorer. I like Grant Hill a lot, but Durant, pure scorer and a better leader. Better, not a leader, but you can win. Well, yeah, because what did Grant Hill do in the NBA? He got hurt. He had all star moments in Detroit, and he could give you all around game. But Durant, the pureness of his scoring or his ability, come on now, like KD, no, I gotta no, I got to give KD that. KD's one of the greatest players ever. We don't put Grant Hill quite in that level. Durant's somewhere in that 12 to 20 range. Where's Grant Hill at? And now, had he stayed healthy, gone on, did Grant Hill even make the top 75 ever? Just saying. I know injuries cost him, but I'm just saying. I'm taking Clay because Clay was a better scorer. And Clay, to me, if we weren't in this make believe where everybody can get 70 points in a game, Clay was the only guy that I saw, had he stayed healthy and what have you, he would have been the dude that would have been somewhere between Kobe and Wilt. I really believe, because with the fact that he could score points like crazy, he would have been one of those guys that have been destined to me. But we won't ever get that now. Well, you never know. He might have a night where he flirts with 60. I mean, he don't have to dribble the ball much because he's like magic when he magical. I'm going to say, and this is a good one for me because I like them both. Um, Bosch got more out of what he do, but I gotta say she'd again. Now she might fall under almost a bum for the simple fact he could have been better than he was. He could shoot outside, he could play inside, he could guard. He would be scary today. Like if he played right now, she would be scary. He'd be scary because he could do so much with she. You would talk about a no position And a guy that could thrive today, imagine if she played with Golden State. Imagine. Draymond would have to come off the bench. She would be a nightmare. Bosch showed a lot in Miami, his versatility, because he definitely inside out. And he was a better, he did more with his numbers, but she, he could get a lot more out of she though. Just saying. But Sheed also was kind of like when he felt like it. It's the only problem with Sheed though. But sometimes I felt like he could have, he just didn't want to really push that superstar thing. So yeah, that's a good one though. I had to think there for a moment because I like them both a lot. This is tough. Now you trying to really, God. And Moses is one of my greatest players ever. I love Moses. Um, Jokic is gonna have the edge for the simple fact that he's a better passer and he covers a lot more ground on the perimeter. It's tough for me because I love Moses. And I think Moses is one of the most underrated, underappreciated. But what Jokic can do, he's like a machine, you know. Like I tell anybody, if Jamal Murray stays healthy and they team up together, they got a chance to be the most lethal 1-2 big man, small man since Shaq and Kobe. He is. He is. He is. Let him win another 2 rings and another league MVP, and you can't even argue with that, because his skill set is so freaky, and he doesn't even set out to be a triple double machine, but he is. The way he reacts to his timing on the ball, his timing and rhythm and cadence is uncanny. You think that bastery looking turkey is just gonna be stuffed and stop, and then he'll pop a 3 on you. He'll go by you. He'll throw a crazy pass. I mean, he got the mind jetter for real. You know, he's that dude that is really happening in real time, but they don't want to talk about it. So I'm gonna tell you like this: it was about 3 years ago. I came around full circle on him. First, I was kind of like, but then it just became like this dude is a freak. So he's a machine, and he always usually brings it. So it's just a matter of he gonna get the right teammates. So he got me 2.5 years ago. He got me 2.5. But let me just say this: once you get on board, then you start to kind of wonder where will you rank him because you're gonna rank him high, and that's the reality. That's the reality. Considering all the things that he does, and he's made Jordan a better player. Now, the key to me, I say him and Murray can be like the Shaq Kobe if they. But to me is Michael Porter Jr. If Michael Porter Jr. can get into a Clay Thomas type of routine where he makes them shots, they're gonna be hard to beat. They're gonna be hard to beat. Not really, because LeBron's old now. Not really. This ain't like if he had a see. It's not fair to either one on this from this standpoint. LeBron's not in his peak in his prime no more. And the thing about it is the Lakers aren't that good. They beat them 4 games, which could have been a 6, 7 game series. Well, Denver was a better team, but like they beat them last week. It's just they do things a little bit better, and they got to have a better pieces. But sweeping him now don't do nothing for his legacy. No, winning the rings is what does for his legacy. It's because LeBron is not. It's like if you said sweeping LeBron now and sweeping Durant now and sweeping Curry now don't mean nothing. Guys are old now. They can have moments, but they're not in their peak and their prime. They're just a name only. Okay. Now, if Jokic goes to a finals and plays Milwaukee and he sweeps Giannis, then we got a different conversation. Or if Joel Embiid ever found a way to get to the finals, and then that's a conversation. But sweeping LeBron is not. It's now I know somebody will make a video about it and say but I can't. I saw that. He's coming. But give him a couple years. They need some guards, they need some bench. But I'm telling you, he's getting better. He's getting better. He's starting to cook. You know, put a little beat on his bones, and keep a little inside presence. Get you a guard rotate play. Get you a couple people on the bench. You got a chance to get up to a 30-win team. And I think he's gonna definitely be on the right page. Cause that's the dude that nobody wants to mess with if he gets going. I'm saying. And I'm gonna tell you something right now, because you want to know exclusively. He's the worst thing that could happen to Zion Williamson. Because if Victor get going, suddenly Zion better get going, or Zion will start like an old man. Zion will be on the downside in a couple of years. Mark my word. You better get it. You better get it, and you better hope the Spurs don't attract any a younger Parker Ginobili type to play with this cat. You better hope, cause they coming, and I'm coming after you, Zion. Cause if you've been up there wasting your talents and you being futile, this guy's coming for you, and they will be a postseason threat probably in a couple years with some more pieces. Cause they get the right pieces around him. This is going to be a team that could be battling uh, Minnesota, OKC for the West. And new guards is coming. But yeah, but no, it didn't do anything for me with Jokic sweeping Bron. Nothing. Not at this stage. Not at this stage. Bron's not the same player no more. So we talk about it every day. I mean, when I don't really do a lot of LeBron videos because that's kind of, and let's not get carried away because Luca's got a better overall game. But if he gets a team that can start to win and emulate the Duncan Robinson era, then you might have come back to that. But he's not passing him in terms of skills yet. Luca's got him beat as far as that on consistency. Because Luca's a walking almost triple double himself. He'd only pass him if the Spurs become contenders in a couple of years. Then that's a different horse of a color. That's the only way he'll pass him. Individually, it's going to be hard for a lot of people to pass Luca because Luca puts up numbers and stats. I saw that pass in MSG the other day. But if he can make the Spurs a contender, then that's a whole different situation. So, cool. I ain't going nowhere. See if anybody else comes through, but I'm gonna stay right here. See if I got- Okay. Just see what we talking about. Just waiting. Yeah. Mm. Okay, see what's go. Talking. So nobody else out there. I'm just waiting. Is anybody else on here? That's interesting because I thought people be on here, but okay. So we got right here. Mhm, mhm. Mhm, mhm. Just waiting and waiting. Mhm, mhm. Mhm. All right, now. So I was waiting to see if somebody else was on there too. I thought somebody else was on there. Mhm, mhm, mhm. Hmm. Somebody sent something. Okay. All right, what's up? All right. Just checking out some stuff online. Played outside of Chesapeake. Chippendales. Okay. All right. And Monique's son speaking out. So I have to check that out. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to do that video. That's cool. That's for the people who don't think that he understands his blackness. That's for them. I like it when people are trying to downplay, you know. I stand by what I said about my homes. So I ain't even gonna say nothing, you know, you know. Yeah, I think I saw that. I think he should be. So come on now. You can't blow no two Super Bowls in 4 years and blow 10-point leads. I mean, I mean, Kyle Shanahan, tell me that you've been gambling and Joey Cabone said, we're gonna break your bones, Carl. Carl, you gotta tank the game, you gotta tank the game. We want you to tank the game. You gotta give me a better reason than that. I mean, how do you blow two fourth quarter 10-point lead games when Mahomes throws picks and looks disjointed and you find a way to lose? I mean, so I'm shrugging my shoulders. You tell me. So, you know, he would have. Well, Terrell became a big. I mean, 2,000 yards at the time. I mean, his start of his career was quite special. So, well, Shanahan Jr., different era. They don't run the ball like that no more. That's a fact. They don't. Derrick Holmes is an anomaly. Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's an anomaly. Why did I get Derrick Henry and Priest Holmes mixed up anyway? Yeah. I remember. West Coast offense, you shorten the passing game, but a different era when you consider Terrell Davis, because Terrell Davis is a different back than McCaffrey and Debo. So, but bottom line is he didn't choke 2 Super Bowls and and then win the 4 NFC championship game. And they just coming up short. And you see, they look more like Detroit than Detroit looks like Detroit. That'd be cute story for runner up or no one had never been there. But this is the 49ers. This is a prideful organization. And they're gonna look at him and say, man, you got to get it together. I mean, what you think you're gonna be here and do? Like you're gonna be Jeff Fisher Price and be here 30 years? That's a good one. That's a oof. Oh God, that's a tough one. The tiniest of margin, I gotta say TD, and I'm gonna tell you why. Tomlinson probably is the better back, but for me, TD sealed Elway's legacy. And it says something about winning. And Tomlinson never brought it in the postseason. TD did. But you asking me who had more talent, I'd probably say, yeah, LT had moved me in terms of talent. But if you asking me who gave me the whole nine, I'm gonna go with TD. Terrell got him. The rings count and the way the Broncos looked, and he was just on another. He looked like he was going to be first ballot Hall of Fame before he got hurt. Moon, because he, again, considering he lost because of racism and came into the NFL, but he thrived when he got going. Fouts had a better situation. Give Moon, Wes Chandler, John Jefferson, Charlie Joyner, Kellen Winslow Jr., okay? And James Brooks, and I want to say was it Muncie, the run in the run. Give him that to work with. Oh, that's kind of tough. One of them was a Pittsburgh Dallas game in '97. That offside kick. Matter of fact, offside kicks are real popular for me because New Orleans did it to the Colts. I love that offside kick. Those are two of my favorite when they do special teams. Usually in the Super Bowl used to be dramatic. John Regan's fourth down run against Miami. Marcus Allen's run against Washington. Doug Williams hitting Ricky Sanders. That was a sick fade. Montana hitting Rice. Montana's game-winning touchdown against Cincinnati in '89. Um, uh, the Mahomes play this past Sunday because that was like almost not a naked bootleg, but the way it went down in the closing seconds, that made it so incredible. That was an incredible play. Or that play he threw to Tyreek Hill, that 3rd and 15, he threw that ball and the ball hung up there forever. That was an incredible play. Um, the interception, Seattle, New England, the end zone. I mean, that's one of the most like, wow. Um, Tennessee, St. Louis stopped at the 1 yard line. The one that got stopped at the one. That was a big one. Um, David Tyreek, the ball stuck on the helmet, and you'll never forget that play. You know, so um, Julie Edelman catching that one ball. Yeah, that's when they knew they were gonna win the game against Green Bay. But I ain't gonna say I'm not gonna. I don't really talk about that one against T because that one. But oh yeah, Desmond Howard, come on now. Wolverine ran that ball back against New England and did that pop lock, did that break in the end zone. That was something else. But yeah, Elway's helicopter was yep. Desmond came with that pop lock. I was hyped. I was hyped. I root for the Michigan boys. I was hyped. Mm, he didn't really. His NFL career was kind of, but getting to Green Bay, special teams, doing stuff. See, he's kind of like Reggie Bush in that regard. What he was in college was one thing. When he got to the NFL, he was kind of reduced. But for that moment, he got off though. He got off that moment. But yeah, the airway helicopter was sick. That was sick. So Lynn Swan's catches in Super Bowls. I mean, come on now, those are moments. John Stallworth catches, same thing. So depends on what you. Well, I think about Staubach to Jackie Smith dropping that ball in the end zone against Pittsburgh in that Super Bowl because that changed the fortunes right there. He catches that ball. Yep, I just said Jackie Smith. Eugene Robinson, because he'd all been partying the night before for Atlanta, and then the airway hit that bomb on them and they got burnt. And that's not a bum moment. No. He missed the field goal. He missed the field goal. That's not a bum moment. Bad moment, not a bum moment. This was why I write. The bum moment, though, it was just John Casey, the Carolina Panther kicker, kicked the ball off to New England. It was like about, I forgot, it was like a minute in the game. And that turkey kicked the ball out of bounds, and Brady got it to 35-yard line, and that was a bum moment. You got to know better than that. But no, not to know what though. Which one did you think was funny, Andrew? What was funny? Because I thought the Casey one for Carolina when he kicked that ball out of bounds against New England. What? Is it blank? What? Okay, hold on. I hadn't been hearing anything. Mute and blank. Okay, hold on. Let me get on. I don't know what's going on. I'm having some serious issues with this. Hold on. Trying to talk loud. No. My live is mute and blank. Okay, let me see if I get this. Good now? Dang. Okay, I don't know if it's because I had to adjust something. I don't know. I've had some bad weather too, so if it goes out again, let me know. You can hear me? Good. Okay. I don't know what happened. Anyway, I was trying to figure out what Andrew was laughing about because I said that John Casey kicking the ball out of bounds was bad. That was more of a bum move for Carolina. I didn't think that Norwood's kick was a bum thing. He missed it, you know. Just like when the 49er kicker got his extra point blocked the other day. I can't call that a bum thing because things like that do happen. Even though it don't seem like Harrison Barnes has missed a lot of kicks now for Kansas City, but now you know what a bum kick was when that Colts kicker missed that ball against. Yeah, he got dissed for that, and that's the only thing that they hold against him. They hold that against him. How do I feel about that? He could have dove. It was a winnable game if they score another touchdown because Peyton Manning, he was definitely told not to lose the game. You want to talk about game manager? They basically told him put both hands in your pocket. He sucked. He got old real quick that year. But Von Miller and them were balling so hard that, so yeah. So yeah, it was bad. That's all I gotta say about Brock Osweiler. That's all I gotta say. How come he don't have a job like Dan Orlovsky though? Shouldn't Brock Osweiler and Dan Orlovsky be like matching blazers? No, he's not a bum. He's a never was. He sucked. I mean, he Ted's saying that to be funny because that's scrub central. He a scrub, a double scrub. I never was. He's not a bum. He big and tall, but he was whack. He was whack. Brooks, but I like Clay a lot. But I gotta give Brooks just a slight edge. Came a big, but Clay was bad though. I still can't get over Brock Osweiler. That was hilarious. That's hilarious about Brock Osweiler. Ooh, ooh, ooh. This is tough. I guess I gotta give Bruce because longevity. Walter Jones was big for Sean Alexander, but I gotta give Bruce the edge on that one. But that's a tough one though. That's they both. That was a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. Because Walter Jones gets hardly no love. Zimmerman, because he cared a little bit more than Pace, though Pace was bad. But I heard about Orlando Pace in the St. Louis area. I heard he was full of himself, though. He used to drive crazy and act crazy in St. Louis. He was starstruck. But Zimmerman, I gotta give him a bit more. He came up bigger for Denver. But it's close though. Pace did a lot for her. I could tell you're not a Cowboy fan. I ain't heard nothing about Eric Williams and Nate Newton and none of them. Them guys were big for Dallas, but I understand. Don't say nothing about no Cowboy offensive lineman. It's okay. Now you're gonna mention Eric Williams. Ogden. I gotta give it to Ogden. Eric Williams was bad, but Ogden, oh, with the Ravens, he was just a bull. That's a good one too, because that's two heavyweights right there. But I gotta give it to Jonathan Ogden. And that one was pretty tough too, because Eric Williams was no pushover. Jason Peters, but it's close though. I like Whitworth though, but Peters, I think I got gets just a tad bit more. Trent Williams, I gotta give Trent his due on that one. Again, that's That's a good one though. But I gotta give Trent his due. Trent's a bad boy. Got much respect for him. You going with these linemen today, these offensive linemen. That's interesting. Jonathan Hodkins. It'd be hard for me to take anybody over Hodkins. Hodkins was a bad boy. I mean, he pounded you. Be very tough. He was bad for a long time too. I noticed you did. Boy, and I remember back in the 80s when the Hogs were the rage. Washington, they were bigger than everybody. That's before Dallas. That's why the Hogs had the name because Joe Gibbs was the first one to come up with the 300-pound offensive lineman, and people would be in the stands dressed like the Hogs. You want to talk about a game changer now? In the 70s, OJ's electric company with Reggie McKenzie and then with the Bills, and you had some strong offensive linemen, but Washington went a whole nother level with the Hogs. And then Dallas took over with their line. So, which there's a different era of football, which I have to address right now. The line still wins. However, the line isn't the end all be all like it once was. Probably were. Probably were. Because Lord knows Michael Irvin was at the White House. Everybody knew about the White House in Dallas. Nate Newton. Oh, yeah. Funny you say that because Nate Newton had that Scooby Doo white van. He got busted for some mess. You have to Google that up with Nate Newton. Nate was a bad dude, but yeah, Nate like he was hitting that powder though. Hmm. Yeah, so you might be on to something with that one. So, oh yeah, Haley was a real one. Haley's one of my favorites. I got much respect for Haley. Haley talked about everything. He saw the Starburst crew. He saw all of it. You know, he kept it real. I don't deny it. Yeah. So did was it was it Michael Irvin? Well, somebody else did too on that. They had to sign a non-disclosure. They had something because it was talking about if they had consensual relations on the Cowboys. I forgot who it was. They had that too because I saw a video years ago. They did too. Okay, Eric Williams. Yeah, yeah. You remember the video? Okay, you know what I'm talking about. I remember he did the video. And he said, "Y'all make sure y'all say this on this." Crack me. I'm like, man, y'all be into some wild stuff. I heard about that White House though. But that's for when you win, though. That Prescott and them get the outhouse. You have to be smart. It's a lot of thoughts and a lot of gold digging out here. Yeah, yeah. Well, he did the right thing. You have to be. You have to protect your assets. I remember. That's why Zeke had gained all that weight, but now Zeke been doing some slim fast because I saw him in New England. He cut, but it don't matter because the Patriots suck. So Dallas needs to big him back. He too skinny for Dallas now. But but any group, because anyone from that 304, that code, will definitely try to sew you up. You don't take no chances. 'Cause they push record too, you know. I mean, the groupie love, you gotta be careful. I had a weekend playing ball, and what happened was the Monday, I met up with a homeboy and his son. We was playing 21. And they came to me and said, "Did you hear the news?" Because I had no cell phone at that time, man. We didn't have that kind of situation. And I said, "Oh," so we made it. We called it a Kobe Day. We had like a Kobe the National Day. We was all on the court shooting and sad. It was crazy. It was crazy. And then I had saw the Green Mile. It was s- I wasn't shocked. I was disappointed. I mean, I was kind of like, I wasn't shocked because I had heard that he was breaking up with her. I had heard some stuff. Don't ask me how I heard all this, but I had heard that he had been telling her that she gained too much weight, and he was, you know, and he got tired of her because she kind of nagged. Hmm. So, to an extent. So that was the word I had heard. They had been having some problems. So heard he had some stuff planned, but you know, because he was pretty petty too. So, but hearing about a Laker doing some stuff like that ain't exactly. After we went through with Magic, James Worthy got busted messing with some hookers, and there's always something going on. Dr. Bus was a freak. Shaq was a freak. So, if I was a betting man, I'd say Fish. It's too much of a conflict of interest if you mess with the main cat. It's hard to keep a straight face. Fish could get all kinds of scoop because, you know, yeah, she did. But I know she messed with some people in the Lakers. I already know. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But he corny too, so it has to work right because he tried too hard to be cool. So, yeah, I heard about that. I heard about that. He probably would get welcome back too. Lord knows he's just in DC collecting checks, and they suck. So she probably would look him. Well, she wasn't married. She married that corny comedian. I can't really tell with Jenny though, because Jenny is so 304, but yet she tries to play. So you can't really can tell what's real and what's not. But I don't think, she gave Kuzma what he wanted, his own team, and score points and suck. So there you go. I don't think it's so much as letting her bully is that she needs somebody that can sell tickets. You see, the reason why he gets to quote you bully, you know why? Because AD don't sell no tickets. They tried those commercials with AD. Have you seen Anthony Davis's commercials? Them Lay's chips, and they stale and dry, and he's corny and boring. He just a big old log. The only time I ever heard AD make any noise is when he tries to make a shot and he goes Kobe, or when he's like ah. But he is so yeah. So she's in a catch. She's in a real dilemma. Her best player is still the oldest player. Her most marketable player is the oldest player. The only the best player and oldest player is the one that the fans come out to see. They don't come out to see AD. I haven't done a video about this, and I haven't seen anyone else do a video about it. Brokeback Mountain, Brokeback Mountain, Brokeback Mountain, Brokeback Mountain. That would be funny if he said that. You know, it would be hilarious. You know, I don't think Club Shay Shay will put him on the couch though. But yeah, that's the dilemma. He would have slapped him. Yes, he make him get in the box and post up too. Um, and that's the problem that she's got. She's stuck with LeBron, and no one has done a video about that. I might be tempted why she can't get up under from LeBron because it ain't what you think. It's not what you think. It's not so much about wins and losses. It's just that they can't sell no either. There's no seats for AD. LeBron ain't there. They're not going to come to see AD play, especially if he gets his feelings hurt and he starts wearing street clothes or he softens up. And I think that's what's the only thing that's kind of holding it up, you know. But to where though? Where you gonna trade him? Where you gonna get good value? If Rudy Gobert gets you half a team, you gonna take that chance with AD? And who's gonna be stupid enough to trade for a guy that's street clothes? Unless, of course, he goes back home and he cries like Spencer Dinwiddie did, goes, I want to go home. And then they trade him to Chicago. And then you get Zach Levine, who mysteriously got hurt, so he didn't get traded to Detroit. Caruso, DeRozan, who is from LA. Ain't this be a convenient trade? Trade them for 4 or 5 guys. That's the dilemma. There's too many dilemmas if you get rid of AD. And plus you got rid of a lot of future picks where he's concerned. So we all would trade him, but the problem is you got who's gonna be the takers? There's 2 things work. There's 3 things work in. Yeah, but you gotta give up Kyrie and probably Tim Hardaway Jr. and somebody else and some draft picks and some cash. But that would be a crazy 1-2 punch. You know. So, but what makes you say that? Why you say that? I mean, I want to know what brought that up. Why would you say he's a bum? Because you still got expectations for him after you know that all he does is shoot logo threes and taps his watch and because he can't score. Because one of the problems he's running into with Milwaukee is that Giannis dictates a certain tempo, right? So they're not going to sit there and let a guy jack up 15 shots from the logo and shoot all over the field to appease him. So he doesn't give you much of anything else now, does he? He ain't James Harden. He ain't Russell Westbrook. Now, is he? And you asked me that Miami why Miami didn't want to get him. He don't give you nothing. He's not cut like that. He's not cut like that. So you gotta remember something. This cat spent like 15, 25 years in Portland, and he spent about 8 of them just jacking shots, logos, and flexing and tapping his arm and all this like he was a relief pitcher calling for the bullpen. So he did. Got into a beef with Shaq about that. And Shaq was thinking, but I'm like, look, he a one trick pony. This is what they put as one of the 75 greatest players ever, too. Give me a break. Give me a break. The problem with them, he ain't better than Westbrook. He ain't better than Westbrook. Not as clutch as Kyrie. Uh, how's he better than Westbrook? Westbrook's a triple double. Westbrook busts his behind. If Dame played like Westbrook, that would make the trade to Milwaukee feasible. Kyrie's frustrating. Kyrie's frustrating. But if I'm going toe for toe, scoring for scoring, and everybody's on the same page, Kyrie might get him beat too. Because Kyrie did can put some 50-plus point games. He did put some scores when it wasn't so fashionable. But they kind of almost the same person, so I can't really say. But Westbrook, I got to give an edge, though. Because he actually does beat you in different ways. And he gives you some hustle. Oh, oh, that's tough. God, I don't like them both. By the slimmest of margins, Shea because he starts and because he didn't put a fire under OKC and he is their best player. But it's that close. Can't pick Murray because Murray doesn't stay healthy and he doesn't always rise up to Jokic, but he can score with him and he can have moments. But how you gonna pick him over Shea when Shea is in the MVP discussion? Shea is in the top 5 MVP discussions as we talk. Murray ain't. Now I consider Murray one of the 12, 13 best players, but Shea's got him beat by 5 or 6 slots. Just saying. And I can't ignore OKC's record and what he's doing. And he doesn't have a Jokic to play with. So I like Murray a lot. I probably take Murray overall, postseason. And I think Murray going forward, if he's healthy. Now, if he gets healthy, motivated, and plays consistent and scores up that 25 plus and he can lead the way. I got to give it to Embiid because Embiid gives you a bit more. Um, it's close though, but I got to say Embiid. They got a better record, and when he's playing and they're focused, at least in the regular season he's better. I know why you picked Luca because of the all around game and the triple doubles, but Luca hasn't really matched MVP worthiness. Embiid is. He would have been. He would have been. He was definitely playing MVP worthy. Luca to me is one of those guys I got to have it the whole season, stay in shape, stay consistent, and his team has to be really that good. So I got to give Embiid the edge right now. Could change though. The Shea and Murray one was tough though, because I'm more of a Murray head, but I do like Shea a lot. And I know what he's doing for OKC, and he's been on the run. Oh, Jameson, come on now. The only thing we remember Carlos Boozer for was that Prince, he rented a house out to Prince. That's it. We don't remember Boozer's game. Went to Utah and cried with Deron Williams and Chicago and cried. Oh, Boozy. No one remembers Boozy. But Jameson had the 50-point game. Antoine was a broke Vince. He was a broke few folks. So Lamar, because he had a better all around game. You could do more with Lamar. Marion had that shot and he could play D, but Lamar was a more around talent. And it ain't easy for me to say because he was a bum. He did waste it, but he had a better skill set. And when it was on, he was good. He was the goods. But it's tough to say. But Marion was like, orthodox. Could play though. Lamar. Quan had that shake and shimmy, and he could score. But Lamar got him beat though. Twan was good though, but Lamar had overall better game. I'm always going to go with a more versatile player. Now, does that mean that I think that he necessarily lived up to his whole being? No, not even close. But he was more versatile than Twan. I did like Twan, but I'm glad he came to Miami. He had a couple of shots. He played his best with Paul Pierce, but you know, but we strictly talking about versatility though. Like I give it to Lamar. So Mo Williams. That's not even up for discussion. Mo was a better scorer. I like Pookie a lot because I mean when he was with Seattle and he was a real feisty kind of guard, and you know, but Mo got Mo easily, easily. Mo had some games. I don't think Pookie Snow scored 50 points in a week. Hey, what's happening? How you doing? How you doing, D? Tell me where you coming from. Good to see you. How you feeling? How you doing? How's your day going? Always glad to see people coming on through. NC State over the Houston Cougars back in '83. Not even close because Valvano, that whole thing. I remember that ball. Lorenzo Charles, that ball hung up forever, and then that ball went in. And at the time, Five Slammer Jammer was like special. I mean, they were like the next coming before Carolina and Georgetown took over. That was incredible. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. I appreciate you coming through. And feel free to ask me any question you like. I'm glad to see you. I appreciate that. I'm not giving up. I got a lot of great people like yourself showing support, showing love, great questions, great reach. I look forward to it. So feel free anytime. Any suggestions? Glad to have you. Um, Raleigh Muscle. Oh yeah. Villanova over in Georgetown back '85. So I gotta remember these ones because this is the ones that really stood out because um that time Patrick Ewing. When I talk about college basketball back then, we talking about full court press, we're talking about zones, we're talking about low scoring games. That was a different era. You had more upsets. You had more upsets. That was a good one. Well, Five Slammer Jam with Houston was one of the favorite ones. And then, of course, UCLA, if I'm going to go with Kareem and them, that was one of them. North Carolina with Perkins, Worthy, Jordan. I mean, but not so much Jordan at the time, but at the time, Duke, Grant, Leitner, Bobby Hurley, those guys. Um, Running Rebels with UNLV. Yeah. Again, it's to more of an older Garnett and Kobe, when they don't, didn't play college ball, we didn't get to see the best of the best. So we had more, uh, and it changed. It changed. It changed. So when people talk about, yeah, Loyola, that's true. But when we talk about upsets, we're talking more old school. There's no upsets no more because it's not the same. You can't really say that these teams are, because there's going to be a guy who goes G League or guys that, you know, get an opportunity. If they ever brought back that you can go to the NBA 18, yeah, that's what I'm saying. We didn't get that, so we won't know. And it makes a world of difference. It does. It's just a fact. It's just, and it's ruined if they make you play for 1 year. Because did it do anything for Ben Simmons? Did it do anything for Carmelo? I mean, Carmelo won a chip, but I mean, I can't really tell you. No, I still do tournaments and I keep old college basketball and it gets to the 64 and all that. But I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. College basketball has not been the same since the cats went in early. And I'm not mad, but with Garnett and Kobe after 95, I just don't look at it the same. We're talking almost 30 years of where it's changed. So it's not the same. It's not the same. Are we talking college, NBA? If we're talking NBA, it's the Miami Heat. And if we're talking college, it's the Michigan Wolverines. But I don't really say anything about the Wolverines because Jawan Howard, eh, yeah. But yeah, a great question, D. And as a Heat fan, as I told Ted a lot of times, well, see, Gonzaga is like always going to get into like the final eight, and then they're going to find a way to lose. That's why they mess you up. That's why they mess you up. They do that, or Final Four, you know. And I thought that once the East Coast wasn't so hard and big anymore, if I could shoot threes, they get through, and they still find a way to lose. They got that Kyle Shanahan syndrome. Gonzaga, Gonzaga nigga, Gonzaga niggas. I wanted to say like shenanigans, Gonzaga nagums. That's what I'm gonna say. They just don't finish. So sorry about that, Gonzaga shenanigans. Yeah, the Gonzaga shenanigans. That's what I was trying to say. Mhm. But yeah, NBA Miami Heat and okay, okay, you really Thomas Hearns versus Sugar Ray Leonard. Okay, both times. Okay, since you asked, yeah, Hitman Hearns was my favorite boxer back in the day, and middleweight. And first time he hit Sugar Ray, and then they found a way to give Sugar Ray the first fight. And the second time he clearly beat him, and then and I was very upset. Of course, I mean, if you love Marvin Hagley, you'd say the Hagley Leonard fight, but Sugar Ray style and profile. I've been upset about different fights for different reasons, but yeah. I mean, I was, but Sugar Ray know how to play to the camera and the judges. See, one thing about boxing, boxing is like it's like a pole dancer. It's the way you do the last swirl, and they give you more money, and that's what happened. And Sugar Ray knew how to play to the crowd. That's one of the greatest things about him. He was one of the first fighters that I understood who knew how to play to the audience. Yeah, but he was a great fighter though. He was a made man. He was a made man. Take that back. He was a made man. Cause he fought all four of the guys. He didn't run for nobody. I remember he fought this white boy named Danny Lalonde back in '89, and he whipped his behind. And Sugar Ray was about 12, 15 pounds undersized, but he stuffed his trunks with coins. He beat that white boy up. I never forgot that one. But he had crossed over to 7 Up. He was commercialized. I know my mother hated it about him. We knew he was doing. but he had crossover appeal. Had the Jerry curl, which was friendly, and a smile that sold. He crossed over. He crossed over, and he had crazy appeal. See, and that's another thing too. When I talk about sports, can you sell jerseys? That's what separates a lot. Especially boxing is known for that. As brutal as boxing is, as tough as it is, you still got to be able to sell jerseys and win. You can't just be a brute. You got to be a brute like Tyson, but you got to sell jerseys too. They won't give you no fights if you can't sell no jerseys. That's what they do. They have their golden boys. Like De La Hoya came along. Okay, this is kind of a wide top. Well, he did, but he still loved. Like he's still a great fighter though. Made man because the Foreman grill, etc. But he definitely was a shuffler though. Yeah, it's a bittersweet thing because I love his grill and I do have respect for him as a fighter. And he has that old angry black man that will whip your behind with a switch, But he got there's certain things that I again love Willie Mays, but it didn't really benefit him one way or the other. He had appeal because people loved him. So he didn't have to do anything extra with that. If he, just saying the love for him was real. But I do think he was less Negroid thought scary though than some others. Yeah, Griffith Jr. had crossover appeal. I lived in near Seattle, and Griffith Jr. was more loved than Russell Wilson. Take that for what you want. Guy wins a Super Bowl as a quarterback, but Griffith Jr. had the statue outside. And he came back and parted better. Aaron did speak out. What was it? That teammate they had and made some racial remark. Aaron did speak out. Aaron did. Aaron did say something. He ain't all shuffling. No, I don't think he bucks per se. Um, he did speak out, but that's not the main problem I have with Aaron Judge. It's just that he's not clutch. He's not a money player. He puts up pretty numbers and stats, great stroke, but you don't win nothing. So that's my problem with him. But that's a good, interesting take of all those characters that you mentioned. Um, and I like all of them. I can't say he bugged per se because he had an interesting appeal. Now, was he shuck and jive? Yeah. Was he part time preacher man, Evander? Yeah. Can't say it about Mr. T because believe it or not, folks loved him the way he was. I pity the fool. I'm just the way I am. I'm gonna get you. They loved him. Shaka, no, 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 no. You haven't really seen her interviews. Now she be hard on some black folk, but she'll talk trash. Now Shaka's one of the real ones. I was disappointed. I read her book, and I know how she really is. And she's one of the people. Sometimes you think she's snorting because she'll say some crazy stuff. Nah, I didn't feel no bucking with her. Got that shy town in her though. She's a shy town sister, but I know. Jackie was in a very disposition, but I don't think he timed at all. I think he had to like pick his spots. He had to go through a lot. You will never hear me say anything bad about that man. Because you remember he predated Dr. King and them by like 20 years, okay? And baseball was unruly with black cats and slurs and, you know, he doesn't get his due. He should be given as much love as Dr. King, Malcolm, Frederick Douglass, and from a sports perspective, what he did. And I was offended that Nick Wright compared LeBron to him or something that mess. I'm like, come on now. You don't even want to begin to know what Jackie Robinson went through. Not even close. So, no, the thing about it with him, he's just more mental. He had crossover appeal, and he wasn't necessarily trying to be the hardest brother or the acceptable brother. It's just that he had crazy crossover appeal because of the bruteness of what he was. But you know, one thing about him that, like, when you see the layers of him without the ring and just lay, he's a brother, but he does have crossover appeal, and he grew up that way because of his upbringing. He grew up with the chain, you know. So no, it's an interesting anomaly with Mike Jordan Peele. Yeah, but again, them Hollywood types are different. Directors, actors, that's a different animal. I could say that, yeah, but not Mike Tyson because he grew up around white folk. He wasn't like it wasn't like it was foreign to him. Let's just say that. He still got that rawness about him too, but no. There was something that came out. There was something he said that kind of threw me off. Ted must have picked up on it too because he wouldn't have mentioned his name, but there was something that was said after Get Out. There was something that went down that I can't recall, but it kind of put that out there. But I'm gonna just saying, like I'll answer Ted and answer you the best way I can. Hollywood brothers are a little bit more susceptible to that. Just take my word for it. Actors, directors, comedians, music artists, and they tend to fall in line. Let's just say that. They tend to fall in line. Because if they don't, they could get wiped off. No, I ain't saying anything about the movie. I ain't saying anything about the movie. I was talking about the way he carried himself. That's got nothing to do with I'm not talking about his work. Not talking about his work. It was something that went on that went down that I heard something. And that's what made it allude to that. So I was answering that question, not the movie, but there was something that he said that kind of got my attention because it was something that came out. Next time, I'll tell you what, next time I come on, I'm going to go do some Jordan Peele investigating because there was something. Oh, yeah, that's obvious. If you work for Saturday Night Live, especially in the last 20 years, you are bucking, shucking, shuffling. Yes, I see it. You can quote me on it. The last 20 to be black on Saturday Night Live, especially as racist as Lauren Michaels is, and as slow as he's been of being progressive with black comedians, entertainers. Yeah, there was something that happened. I forgot what it was, but it was something that was said because it was something. Hmm. And I forgot what it was, but his name did run through. So when you mention that, that's why I just can't think of it right now. But I'll go dig it up. I forgot what I remember I had read it. Something he said that was kind of off tilt. But anyway, yeah, back to the Saturday Night Live thing. Oh yeah, if you Saturday Night Live last 20, you definitely they don't. It's no other way with Lauren Michaels. I'm just saying, if people get offended, they go, well, I don't watch Saturday Night Live. I haven't really paid it no mind. I know they've gotten blacker. It took that turkey only like 125 years though to he said something. Peel said something. I'll have to find it. I haven't heard much more from him though, but it was something he alluded to. But I'm gonna assume that most of them are in that industry. I would assume most. There's always some kind of shuffling in some capacity because you gotta give up something to get something, you know? Even if you aren't, you are. Let me give you an example. Like Denzel doesn't fall in that category, but guess what? His two Oscars are from what? Getting lashed on in Glory and playing a corrupt cop in Training Day. So tell me you don't give up something to get something. Yeah, he was Black Clark Gable. That's the thing. The good looking, accessible. He said he came out and said Marlon Brando tried to hit on him. But Marlon tried to hit on everybody though. So but that's what he said. He said he turned him down. He wasn't with that. But he said Marlon Brando tried to hit on him. Yep. So nothing would surprise me. Billy D came, what was it, a couple years ago, talking about he was fluid, and then he did act like he didn't know what that meant. I'm like, yeah, okay. I hear Stephen A. Smith talk about my list is fluid. How you feel about that when Stephen A. Smith's always talking about? I'm like, I thought you and Molly were. What you mean fluid? What you talking about? This list is subject to change. It's fluid, and I'm like, what you talking about, Stephen A? I'd be like, runt row. Like, what are you talking about? So Stephen A. be talking that. But yeah. Well, yeah, because I mean, these cats aren't speaking out on social issues, so you do kind of wonder if they bucking. But I was told, yeah, when you start talking about my list is fluid, like, okay, I hadn't heard that before. If you say Kansas City is the best team and Frisco's, okay. But then he's like, it's subject to change, it's fluid. I'm like, huh? So I don't know what he be saying. I don't know what he be. That laugh though about the Cowboys though cracked me up though. I did like that though. Yeah. But you might be just saying that too because of what he threw that pitch in Yankee Stadium because that pitch was hanging with Carl Lewis. That's about, Carl still got the Carl and 50 Cent, but Carl's pitch was the worst though. But anyway. But I did like Billy D. I mean, Lady Sings the Blues, and of course, all, on the Jeffersons. I mean, it was cool. Bingo Long, the Traveling Long. I had some movies in Star Wars, you know. Well, when you throw as bad as Carl Lewis and 50 Cent, those were two of the worst. Even Meg the Stallion got a better pitch. Meg had a better pitch. You said Queen Elizabeth, that's funny. But anyway, that's a Stephen A. So, but that ain't all. He's also very fluid too, talking about old Wayne. We came out with that last year. Um, as far as The Rock goes, like I said with the actors, I mean, he has to be, because he ain't gonna be so black. I mean, let's just say he stays cool in the pocket, you know, like he's more tolerable. He ain't no seller like Van Diesel is. I never heard nothing about him. I didn't hear nothing about him. You heard something? I never heard nothing about him. I know Warren Sapp said he took his position when he played in Miami and he basically tried to scare him off, but I ain't never heard anything about The Rock being Starburst. I ain't never heard it. Okay. well, since you since you said that, okay, that okay. Those are some heavy topics there. Ugh. They do things strangely there. That's all I can say. No, I don't know. That's like I said, you know how Hollywood is. Be into some old kind, you know. I remember that part. I tried not to bring that up, but since you're really bringing the receipts now, you're gonna sound like one of my skits when I said cheeks for checks, booty for looty. That's what you're sounding like you're saying. Cheeks for checks, booty for looty. I don't know. Well, you know, Kevin Hart did all kinds of strange stuff, but but he still got a long running career, so he's connected with his audience. I'm not even a Kevin Hart fan, but I can't deny his longevity. But I did see those things with him and The Rock, though, and no one said nothing either. No one's gonna say nothing. Well, yeah, he do, but no one cares, though. No one cares. They say they care, but see, the thing is this: Cat Williams' black on black attacks were against cats that been around for a long time. They all are shuffling because they're trying to get that white dollar. You don't have no black comedian that's gonna speak out, or they will get wiped off. Now tell me which one has. I'm listening. Because Cat Williams is working for Netflix. Chappelle, um, um, Monique, um, you know, just saying, you know, you when you say these things, they all in the same boat. They all like their managers are Jewish or Italian or something like that. Who do you think is the booking agents? Who do you think puts these things together? It's not Black Rand. So the people that are behind Shannon Sharp's successful podcast don't look like what you see. It's a business. And he had to wait till he got on ESPN to get his pod thing going again. He had contracts, product pitchman. So I'm just saying, it's still ran by the plantation. Uh, Cat Williams got hang with Mr. Cooper. What's his but the one that said Steve Harvey jacked his jokes? He's touring with him. And Monique is too. So I mean, but after a while that stuff gets the Mike Epps thing, I was thinking someone do a video about that. The Mike Epps thing with Shannon is hilarious because again, they're all in on the same thing. So, you know, Mark Curry. Yeah, he had some moments. I wasn't the biggest fan, but he had some moments though. I like hang with Mr. Cooper, and he definitely, you know, he had some moments. Kitchen. So she is, she is, but she kind of got that 304 in her though, kind of 304. Got that 304 though. So Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna get ready to step and give me something to eat. If you gonna be on in a half hour to an hour, I will be back. Okay, just stop before I roll. Been great so far. Everybody messed with her. Babyface did too. If you watch the Whip Appeal video, look up the Babyface Whip Appeal video. She's like Studio La Coco. And I heard Babyface's wife almost got ready to give her the Will Smith two-piece too. That's why she got up out of there. We're gonna talk about that when I get back. But yeah, she was around before Rodney Peake. Mhm. I will be back about half hour to an hour. So if you're on, you see me, let's do it again. Appreciate it. Good to see you. Peace the best. Glad everybody came through. Great questions, great commentary, good feedback. I will be back half hour to an hour. All right, I'm gonna take a meal break. Peace.